Yes, folks, we are going to try out and see if it is possible. Can we do more today? Is it possible that when you sit in your armchair, you can do something about your life? Stop being vulnerable. Folks, stop being vulnerable. The world is changing, and as it changes, we need to adjust. Minimalist versus maximalist. Is it possible that we can change with the paradigm changes that we see occur right in front of us? Good day, this is Brer Caleb, Ph.D., and my Ph.D. stands for Post-Hole Digger. Yes, folks, I earned my Ph.D. in the Desert University. So I welcome you to the changing world order cycles, the currency cycles and the trend-setting cycles that will not suit your lifestyle. Minimalist versus maximalist world. Are you feeling the burn of daily stress for some time now, known also as oxidative stress, where you feel the life being sucked out of you? Do you want to take control of your stress levels? If you're feeling overwhelmed, you're not alone. Come and join us this morning in the Desert University. So my request today is, stop being vulnerable. Welcome to the changing world order cycles, the currency cycles and the trend-setting cycles that will not suit your lifestyle. In one word, it's flabbergasting, minimalist versus maximalist world. Are you feeling the burn of the daily stress, also known as oxidative stress, where it feels like the life is being sucked out of you? Do you want to take control of your stress levels again? If you're feeling overwhelmed, you are not alone. We all deal with stress and anxiety at some level in our life. Our minds were not built for the modern lifestyle and the pressures around this modern lifestyle. That is why we need to take control over our stress level, instead of merely accepting them as part of our daily life. What works for you, though, might not work for somebody else. Thus, I will today share with you some activities like mindfulness. Biohacking is a highly personalized journey, and one you will enjoy, because some people are still wondering what in the world is biohacking. Biohacking is where you take control over your own life, whether it's spiritual or physical. I realize if you're going through some of my suggestions, remember that conquering stress will not come out of a half-hearted effort. In other words, don't be wishy-washy, nor will it come overnight. It will take determination, it will take persistence, and most of all, it will take some time. It's not that you can form a habit in 21 days. Experts discovered it takes actually 66 days. So therefore, my suggestions might help you, some of it immediately. But if your stress level does not seem to improve, it may require more attention and some lifestyle changes, folks. Common sense, remember? Unfortunately, there is no one size fits all. There is no silver bullet solution to living a stress-free life. Some like to state there are no allies in statecraft, only common interest. So there is no perfect island where you can retreat. Welcome to Brer Caleb's Newsbeat. Many Americans hate masks and love their guns. Their anger radiates frustration and fear, for they live in a place better than heaven, or so it seems. Different, for it kills everything you live here on earth. Stop thinking as a believer or a follower of whatever religion and follow your heart for a change, doing what Yeshua HaMashiach said as an example. You might better know him as Jesus, but his original name was Yeshua HaMashiach. You will better understand what I share with you, so I hope you will not be missing the key points. In the old days, there used to be a great tradition in the Americas to solve dialogue, not violence, or the destruction unfolding in the Americas enshrined in the First Amendment. Free speech has always been the best tool, yet today it is under threat. They overcame severe obstacles and challenges together before using their right of free speech to discuss complicated matters. You see, problematical concerns do not require Americans to fight another violent and bloody civil war or turn to a government strongman for solutions. Typically, one used vigorous debate, activism, and reason to change hearts and build consensus. They used to have responsibility and a duty to work out what real change looks like and defend cherished freedoms that make that change possible without violence. How do I know that? Because the original inhabitants of the United States, or the new country, which were the people from Europe, the Dutch, the Puritans, some people from England, and many people were persecuted for their beliefs. So please, folks, pay attention, for this is important. The question is always, what is so important? What is the big change? As we can consider the pandemic, the question is, are they equipped to have these much needed conversations? And when will they happen? As we consider the pandemic, the times ahead will be the times we have experienced so far in our lifetime. Though like many other times in history, they are policing our feelings. A British police force plans to test a new facial recognition system that claims it can tell a person's mood using emotion detections, artificial intelligence. Aside from all the scary privacy implications, many studies say this tech does not work. When you study history, the flowing together of events consisted of periods that existed a couple of decades. A decade is 10 to 20 years transition phases between big economic and political cycles that occurred over 100 years. The rise and declines of empires, their reserve currencies, and their markets prompt us to see several unusual developments that had not happened before in our lifetime, but that we knew occurred numerous times before. As the pandemic came along, another big event for us that often happens before our lifetime, which we could understand better. As we intend to know how history really went through the past great disasters, we need to use our other eyesight, folks. Recognizing and comprehending these changes better prepares us for the upcoming change. Say it very simple. Look further than your nose is. Don't just look at what you're used to. Take it over a longer period. With the changes developing right in front of us, it forces us to accept a paradigm shift. And this is where our brain might not understand and gets into trouble. One of the reasons we miss the big moments we deal with today as a society is our short lifespan. I hinted already before, what we are seeing takes place over a longer period of time. If we would live a couple of 100 years instead of 50 to 75 years, we might easily have a broader perspective of the big picture, for we would recognize each of the cycle patterns. They conduct a real secret war under the name of PMS, a false flag intended to influence geopolitics. Since the late 1920s, they signed agreements and performed covert operations to destroy the innocence of humanity. 3 new agencies target essential personalities in politics, in money, and spirituality. That is why P for politics, M for money, and the S for spirituality or religion. The relationship between the three became glaringly strained, entering a realm of complications. They were hoping to create an all-out sectarian chaos in society. If we gave it a code name, we could call it the Dragon Policy. Luciferian agents, mercenaries, drug lords, mafia figures to destabilize the world as we know it before the COVID pandemic. If we would have read it in a newspaper, we might recognize it more like a war through deception, conveying their mutual agreement that the end justifies the means. I hope the whole picture will come to you in increments as part of the changing world order on minimalist versus maximalist. While many worldwide share fundamental convictions, there is a difference of opinion of the Bible and sacred traditions on which they base Christianity. At its most basic, Christianity is the faith tradition that focuses on the figure of Jesus Christ, Yeshua HaMashiach. In this context, faith refers both to the believer's act of trust and to the content of their faith. As a custom, Christianity is more than a system of religious belief. More to the point, doctrinal statements or confessions of religious beliefs are known also as creeds, C-R-E-E-D-S. They began as baptismal formulae and were later expanded during the controversies of the 4th and 5th century to become a statement of faith. Are you a survivor? Then you know that you can still make that decision. Or do you keep the back channels open in the hope to stave off disaster? God created all men and gave us women. He also gave us the brain to understand them, and it's called patience. Everyone knows that a person has no faith if he has no patience. If we know the logic in taking control of biohacking, we will succeed. Let the past go. Otherwise, it might hinder the future when it really counts, my friend. And one last suggestion. This is not a stress test. This is for real. From the sublime to the ridiculous is but a step, as Napoleon Bonaparte used to say while he retreated from Russia. Brer Caleb, Ph.D. Tough times never last, but tough people do. Folks, I hope that this has helped you to take control over your own biohacking, over your life, over your brain, over what comes in your system, folks, because now is the time to pay attention. Now is the time. Tough times never last, but tough people do. God bless you.